Hey, welcome to my third R3 Driving Academy guide for Assetto Corsa EVO. We're back in the AMG GT2 car, which has a ton of power, so control the throttle a bit, pulling off the line to avoid wheel spin, then the traction control will kick in and save you. After pulling off from the line, we're going to keep the car towards the left side of the track to shorten our line as much as possible. Now we're looking for our first braking point. There's a point on the outside of the track there where the gravel begins and where the curb ends. We're going to be braking hard at that point, all the way on the outside of the track, then bringing the car towards the inside here. We're going to double apex this first turn, so come all the way over the inside curb, but don't touch the yellow sausage curb. Continuing the trailer brake, slowing the car down, waiting for the front end to bite, then getting back on throttle around mid-turn or later in the turn, and apex and gain late in the turn here next to that yellow curb. Now right after this turn, we're coming back to the left side of the track to line up for braking here, braking just a little bit before the two board, and using the outside curb to slightly open up our entry line. We want to use as much of the track width as possible without touching the sand. Now we aim for a mid to mid-late apex in this turn, using the curb but not touching the yellow curb because that'll bounce you up and ruin your exit. Use the throttle to rotate you around that turn, just be aware it might oversteer you. Carry your momentum all the way to this outside curb, then stay out on this outside curb to prepare for the next turn. We're braking about a car length before the coloured part of the curb ends, and as we start braking, not braking too hard, bringing the car towards the inside, carrying some speed through to the apex, which is using all the curb except the yellow curb again. We want to avoid most of those around this track. Again, using some throttle to rotate the car and exit, just not too much, we don't want to oversteer, and again, not touching the sand as always, we don't want to slow down the car there. Bring the car back to the right side of the track, and now we're looking for the 3 board there, or where the cone is, braking about a car length or two before that, hard all the way on the outside. And for this turn we can have a mid to late apex. We're probably apexing just after where the yellow curb is, not touching the yellow curb, but using this inside curb, getting on throttle, using the grip of the camber in that turn, then carrying your momentum to the runoff on the outside of this turn. As of right now, you can cut through those cones, but they might change in the future, so I'm just trying to avoid them. Now up the hill here, we want to keep our right side wheels on the curb, and we're braking about a car length or just a little less before that 2 board on the side there. Carrying quite a lot of speed into this turn, but not too much. We want to shave off some speed and getting as close as we can to that yellow curb without touching it. And then as soon as we hit that apex, there's a ton of grip as the track cambers. Then carrying our momentum once more to the outside of the track here, using all the green area and maximizing our speed on exit. Now for the corkscrew, bringing our car to the left side of the track to line us up for braking, because we're going to get to the left here and the track's going to bend towards the right. You can't see it over that crest, but we're going to brake right here where that black line goes across the track, where that black line starts, braking at that point and then crossing over this curb. As you cross over this curb, it's easy to lock the wheels a bit, so I do slightly come off of the brakes as I cross that curb. Then cutting in really tight on this turn, we want to get as close to that inside cone as we can, and then we're trying to aim ourselves up for this exit curb right there. We can cut all of this exit curb except the gravel, so we can go as close as we can to about where that cone is, and that's the limit. Now coming down the hill, we're actually going to stay towards the left side of the track here, because you'll find there's actually more grip on this inside line. It's also a shorter line. Going to the outside causes you understeer, you'll end up losing time. We're braking at where those cones are, or very slightly after where those cones are, and not braking too hard. The track is very cambered and there's a lot of grip. We're going to apex on the curb here, just make sure you don't hit the yellow sausage curb, and we can actually get on the throttle a little bit before the apex there if you slow down the car enough. Bringing it back to the left side of the track here, we're going to brake as the coloured part of the curb begins, all the way on the outside of the track. This turn's also very cambered, so once again you'll have quite a lot of grip, using all the inside curb, apexing right where the yellow curb is without hitting the yellow curb. Back on throttle at the apex, carrying your speed to the outside of the track. Once again, do not touch the sand. And then finally, we bring the car to the right side of the track, looking for where the coloured part of the curb begins right there. We're braking just at or just after that, maybe closer to where that line is on the outside on the sand there. Braking at that point, braking very hard, trailing into the inside here. In fact, I might have braked a little bit too early here because I actually cut over the yellow part of the curb. This final turn, you can run over the yellow curb, it doesn't affect you too much, but I'd suggest to aim to go around that sausage curb. You'd have a smoother line and probably a better exit. And on exit, use all that green area on the outside, just don't go too far out, you'll invalidate the lap. And then we go to the line, and that is the lap complete. It's a very fast-paced lap, a lot going on. The car is very wild to drive, and I'm sorry for the very laggy replay screen here. It just does this sometimes at the moment. But anyway, I'm going to replay the run all over again without any interruptions, so enjoy that, and I'll see you guys again in a video soon.